We've been keeping a secret for nearly 2 decades now. And really, the guessing game has been half the fun of it. We've had sommeliers, club members, dinner guests, all give us their thoughts and guesses of what was in the bottle. And we've enjoyed the fun of it. But really, keeping the secret wasn't a marketing tactic. It was about protecting a legacy. It was about this underdog grape, a nearly forgotten vineyard, and one stubborn farmer, my dad, who simply refused to let it go. But now, it's time to tell you the whole story. I think you remembered some wines back in the 60s and 70s that were made from this variety and remembered them fondly, and honestly had a great palate, so he was pretty determined that that could make a great wine, even though we weren't so sure.
2007, we're gung-ho, we're excited, new project, new venture, new to the wine scene, and then George comes and says, hey, by the way, we have this grape on the east side of the vineyard that we've been growing forever, and I think it will make a great wine. As we got into the project, though, I was feeling reluctance to move forward because it was a bucking bronco. It was a crazy wine. It had things that weren't evolving correctly, and we're not sure if this is it, but we stayed with it, and this was the outcome. So we said, well, let's just keep it quiet. Let's just label it 007. And then the next year it was labeled Dark Horse, and Dark Horse came from the fact that we get this intense color out of this grape. It's just absolutely amazing. But it was referenced into, let's just kind of hold this tight until we really understand what we're working with.
Yeah, when it was time to bottle this wine, we really were unsure if people would give it a fair shake. It wasn't something that you would see on any labels. We wanted people to give it a chance before they had any preconceived ideas of what it was going to taste like. Over time, my mom kind of became the protector of the secret. She had in mind that it was my dad's wishes to kind of keep it to himself. But I think also, because my mom was in the tasting room a lot, I think she really enjoyed the banter and the guesses and the conversation and the opportunity to talk about my dad and his farming history and his love for the land. So I think that was part of the fun of it for her too.
But it really was about being a farmer. I mean, farming's challenging no matter what, and it was just like one more challenge put before him. But for some strange reason, he had it in his mind how it was going to turn out, and thank goodness it did. He loved the land, he loved what he was doing, he truly loved the land. That was his deal. It was the best thing that could happen to him.
We've been talking about this for a while and just really feel like now is the right time to share what the variety is. Right? Personally, I feel like it's the I told you so that my dad gets to say, essentially. Like, he always believed it could be amazing, and we were the ones that needed the convincing. So you've been on this journey with us of trying to guess what the variety is for almost 2 decades while we've held it secret, and we're ready to tell you. The variety is actually Ruby Cabernet. You don't see it typically on a label. And there's very little of it left in our region. We're down to about 10 acres, we think, and 3 of them are our very own.
Yeah, the story goes back into the 30s with a researcher from UC Davis that felt the need to find a fighting varietal or a Cabernet-like wine that could do well in California. They worked to find a solution, or what they thought was a solution, to bring Cabernet into the masses of California. And what they came up with was a cross between 2 beautiful grape varieties, Cabernet Sauvignon and Carignan. Bordeaux grape and a grape that originates from Spain, brought them together and bred them, and they called it Ruby Cabernet. And this particular grape in the vineyard is amazing. It's intense, it's thick-skinned, has beautiful color that comes from it, has this wonderful brambly fruit that expresses from the grape, and this is exactly what you're going to find in the wine itself.
While this wine was in the cellar, we labeled it in code. We never put the varietal name on it, and since we decided that we weren't sure how the varietal name would be received, we wanted to come up with a name that really honored the wine and honored my dad. So Patriarch's promise was what I landed on, just really as a tribute to him, but really his promise that this was going to be an amazing wine. And he was good about keeping his promises.
George was going through cancer during this time. And when we poured it at our annual dinner in 2012, he'd been dealing with cancer for a year and a half. So I was so happy that people got to see what he fought so hard to have. And yet, George didn't show excitement. I mean, maybe a little smile or whatever. And a lot of people didn't even realize what he was dealing with. And so we lost him in 2013. And it only seemed right that something Jorja named after her dad and something he wanted done, so it was just so important to him that we give back. And I'm very proud that we've been able to do it all these years, 10% of every bottle sold. And I know each and every one have had family or good friends that have dealt with cancer. And I think anything we can do to help is the best thing we can do in honor of him.